Checking. Hello and welcome F1 race fans. We are here today for LGE's coverage of LSR Season 2, Group 1, Round 7 here at the Jeddah Corniche Street Circuit for the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. Just getting underway with qualifying, about 12 minutes left to go. A lot of the cars have been on track, still 20 drivers, full grid here today. I think we have combined Group 1 and Group 2 due to some technical difficulties yesterday with Group 2 not being able to race. So full grid here today. It looks like a very exciting race. I think they're calling it Group 1 versus Group 2 as far as their head-to-heads are going. But right now, Ickle Bickle in that Aston Martin has set a 127.264 to put it on provisional pole at the moment. Right behind him, Sequit doing a 128.1. So pretty big gap there as we're noticing, all on the soft tires. We do have Mango sitting in 5th place on the mediums with Thome also in 9th place on the medium. So going to be interesting to see where the tires do come into play as far as qualifying is concerned. I do expect the medium tires to probably be the best tire out there, not only for their pace around this circuit, but also obviously degradation. Going to be much lower on that medium compound yellow walled tire. Very interesting track. 27 total turns. The first sector pretty technical. The slowest sector, I would say, coming down into turns 1 through 10-12 arena. Then we do start sector 2 with the large hairpin of 13. You will see these guys pretty much flat out. 16-17 will give them a little bit of liftoff, but all the way down to the 3rd sector, getting into turn 22 is where we'll see another slowdown, small braking zone. But then it's pretty much flat out all the way down the rundown with the DRS zone into turn 27, which is the tighter of the 2 hairpins at either end of the circuit, and then on to the pit lane straight to cross the line. But we are seeing most of the drivers out doing their track evolution is going to occur here as we see most of the drivers are starting to put on some soft compound tires. We do have Ickle Bickle back out there for an outlap, riding on board with 8,000 RPM in the AlphaTauri. Let's see where he's at. I don't even have my track map up. But he looks like he is not going to be able to put in a time this lap as he is coming down through turn... oh, why is mine upside down? It's turn 13 there, so that's going to definitely cause me an issue. The fact that the track map on the screen is completely opposite of my track map guide that I have here in my notebook. So he's got a couple drivers behind him. He's going to have to get out of the way. Bunch of drivers on outlets. We do have Husky 13 in the Alfa Romeo as he is making his way through turn 12 now into the same hairpin. Right about the 75-meter board is where we want to break into. Get a good exit out of here, but that exit does just keep carrying on. Now through turns 14, 15, and then 16. We're going to slow down just a little bit. Want to get a good exit. Be careful not to cross that white line, and watch out for that wall there coming out of turn 18. But through turns 19, 20, 21, pretty much just flat out. We do have a yellow flag in sector 2 just ahead, it looks like. I think that's just a driver going a little bit slow as we are coming down through turns 23, 24 right now, and then going to open that DRS round turn 25 into turn 26, flat out all the way down into 27. This is Husky that we're riding on board with in the Alfa Romeo. First time was a 130 flat pretty much on the brakes, try to get that apex and full throttle, get out of there. Going to open the DRS again right there and try to get across the line with a 129.28. So improved by 7/10, moved up to 12th. So good lap from Husky there. Bamboo Vegas and Crooner, both in the Ferraris. They are both on hot laps as well. Let's see, Crooner 034 is a little bit, he just invalidated his lap, so we're going to bump off of him for a second and ride on board with Bamboo Vegas, who did do a 128.545 to start with as he's coming down into turn 13 at the moment. Where's that power going to come out? Yep, so again, that wall does approach if you get all the power just a little bit too early, as you want to maximize your exit out of turn 13 to get this good run down into the turn 16. Obviously going to slow down a little bit there, and then, yeah, 19, 20, 21, all flat out until you get to turn 22, where it's just going to be a small braking zone. He's got his teammate ahead of him, kind of trying to give him a tow. That's pretty nice. I think that's going to invalidate that lap as well. Very, very difficult section there through turns 23 and 24. Expect to see a little bit of that. Looks like Mango and Luke 2 Red are kind of battling it out here, but they've been validated as well. So yeah, very technical track. It's going to be high speed. Going to be interesting to see how these drivers handle their setup, because you definitely don't want to lack downforce, but at the same time, you want to make sure you can get the least amount of drag as possible. So, very interesting circuit as far as the layout is concerned. I expect drivers to, you want to have enough downforce to keep the car planted, especially in these fast left-right handers. These sweeping turns around here at the Jeddah Corny Street Circuit. Again, if you have just joined us, we are here for round 7 of LSR Season 2. This is Group 1, but as I said, this is kind of a conglomeration, coagulation, whatever the word is, of Group 1 and Group 2. So going to be interesting to see. We just had Bethome set a 127.017 in that Aston Martin, putting him at the top spot there. Just 4 thousandths of a second faster than Ickle Pickle in the AlphaTauri. So yeah, we've got, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 minutes left here in total for qualifying here. So just watching these drivers go around, we've seen a lot of invalidations. A couple drivers were not able to put in laps. Let's see, more games in that Red Bull. Looks like he's going along. No, I think he's in, just let off. He didn't invalidate that lap. Sequit moves up to third with a 127.1. So top 5 drivers all within 1 second of each other. 8,000 RPM in the pits. Let's see, Mango on an outlap in that Red Bull. As he is trying to get around some traffic. Anybody else on a hot lap? Maybe Luke 2 Red. Looks like he is, as he is making his way through the into the third sector here, and that's going to be just a little bit off track, but if he doesn't accelerate too far out of it, he'll be able to get away with that. I'm pretty sure it hurt his time, but he'll be able to put in a lap here. Let's see, a lot of drivers in the pits, a lot of drivers doing out laps. I think Sequit and Bethome have already put their laps in, so they're probably on in laps. So as we are on board with Luke 2 Red at the moment, open that DRS, make the run down to the start-finish straight. He's going to dive into the pits. So Zayek Shahomi, who has retired already, and Luke 2 Red still not put in a lap time, and we are getting down to the nitty-gritty here as far as time. So he's going to need to get around. Hopefully he's got enough fuel on board and wants to save his ERS so he can do one more hot lap. We'll see if that happens. I'm sorry I can't tell you how much time is going because we keep saying sector flags here. Yellow flags in each sector. 3 minutes and 11 seconds left, so add 3 minutes onto that. If anybody's out on track and can cross it, that's Zayek coming into the pits at the moment. Bethome, our penultimate pole position, the provisional pole leader at the moment. Ickle Pickle is on an outlap. I think he's just crossed the line to start a lap in that AlphaTauri, as he's going down through turn 1 and turn 2. Second or third gear, maybe, depending on the driver's setups and what they want to do with their differentials, through turn 3 and then down to turns 4 and 5. Those are the heaviest braking zones of this track. Really getting close to the wall there. Not sure if he tagged it. I think he did, as it looks like he's backed off of this lap. So just trying to use as much of the track as possible, and a little teeny millimeter of a mistake has then made him have to back out of his lap. A lot of drivers in the pits. Crooner is on a hot lap but has invalidated, so unfortunate to see that. McChicken, I haven't spoken about him in that Alpine. Is he on a hot lap at the moment? Doesn't look like it. I think he's not going but so fast around. So he's qualified 13th at the moment in that Alpine. We'll see if he can get around. I think he will, if he can save his ERS. It doesn't say he's on a lap, so maybe he did 2 hot laps here. But that might have taken a little bit of wing off there. So unfortunate to see that. Husky, looks like he might be doing a... Oh, yep, he just came through turn 1 and 2. Really hard to see that there because this track is very, very narrow and closes up with each other. So you're not quite sure who's where. But yeah, he is definitely coming through turns 4, 5, and 6 now through turn 7. 8, 9, and 10, and then get on the full power of that run down to the hairpin of turn 13. Let's see if he can improve on that 129.280. Let's see, of course, the hairpin does close in pretty close with that wall coming up pretty quickly. Turn 14, left 15, flick right 16, 17, and then it's going to be full throttle until we get to turn 22. So pretty much a straight line coming through here. No DRS here, but it does open up in just a second. And then the quick slowdown and left-right handers of 22, 23, stay to the right for 24, flick back through turn 25, open the DRS again, and make that run down to turn 27. Do the final hairpin. He's got a McLaren in front of him. May give him a little bit of a tow on his way down to the start-finish straight. Is he going to improve? 129.293. Didn't improve much. Didn't improve at all, but I mean was definitely flat out. So that looks like a pretty good pace. Very consistent driving there from Husky as well. So we've got a couple of drivers. More games. YouTube in that Red Bull as he is rounding turn 13. He's got a yellow flag in front of him. I think that's cars just getting out of the way, using as much of the track as possible as we ride on board with more games. YouTube. He's done a 127.841. Really wants to improve on that time. See if he can maybe put himself on the front row. Maybe scrape the wall just a little bit there. But he's still going for it. No reason. If it only cost him a tenth, maybe 2, as he's coming through turns 20, 21, 22 now. Oh, and was able to keep that in the white line there. Only 2.5 minutes. Anybody who's on a lap will be able to put one in, as we are riding on board with more games. As he is finishing up the final turn here. Get on that full throttle power. Is he going to be able to improve? No, he's going to come into the pits. So at the moment, anybody else on a hot lap a little bit ahead of him? Yes, we do have the Mercedes of James Harris 9, as he is making his way through turns 17, 18, 19 at the moment. We'll keep an eye on him as he sits 6th at the moment with a 128.178. We have a lot of drivers out on track at the moment, trying to find out who's coming across the line first. We just had a McLaren cross the line. I'm not sure who that was. But it doesn't let it improve. That was S2-R Tato. Yes, he did improve, put himself up into 4th place. Who else do we have left? We've got a Ferrari coming into the pits. Behind him, we have an AlphaTauri about to cross the line. That'll be Ickle Bickle. He does not improve on his time, but very, very close to his time. So consistent driver there. As it looks like James is crossing the line. He did not improve either, or if he did, he didn't move up by improving. And then we have the AlphaTauri of 8,000 RPM, who is not going to be able to put this lap in. Alfa Romeo of Luke 2 Red. I think he was able to put a lap in, or he's going to be able to put this lap in, as he is coming around turn 27, very close to the wall on the apex of turn 27. But I don't think he's going to be putting in a decent time to make any difference here. So 130.385. Just wasn't able to put it together. We know Luke 2 Red has pace. He just didn't, in 18 minutes that he was allowed to get out there and put in some time, he just wasn't able to put a lap together. Danny Stiller's still out on track. Doesn't look like he's pushing very hard, so I don't think he's going to be able to put in a time. We do have Mango and Vapor. Nope, Vapor is not going to be able to put in a time, as we are with Vapor, but he has already invalidated this lap, it looks like. So I think that's going to be it for qualifying here at the Jeddah Corniche Street Circuit for round 7 of season 2, Group 1 versus Group 2 apparently this weekend. This is a Group 1 race day, but yeah, it's Group 1 and Group 2 drivers here for the Jeddah Corniche Street Circuit here at Saudi Arabia Grand Prix for season 2, round 7 of LSR. So I think that's going to do it for qualifying. We will be right back to get started with the race. That'll be LFR Bethome. He has put us on pole by 4 1/1000ths of a second past Ickle Bickle. But if we look, I mean, the top 5 are all within half a second of each other pretty much, and it's pretty tight going on down. We're not seeing, look at Bamboo Vegas and Not Sir Vapor separated by 1/1000th of a second as far as their qualifying times is concerned. So anything can happen. You know, you make one mistake, it costs you 3 or 4 tenths, and it looks like you've lost 5 or 6, 7, even 8 places at this point. So all these drivers very, very close to each other. Very quick drivers, especially with this quick track. It'll be interesting to see which strategies are involved. Looks like everybody's pretty much going on to the soft tire except for Mango and McChicken, it looks like. Looks like those two guys will be starting in the middle of the pack on the mediums. I think McChicken was outside of the top 10. So if he chooses to, he could probably start on the hards. But Mango in the top 10 will be starting on those mediums. Yes, McChicken in 13th place. He will be starting on whatever tire he chooses. So very, very tight at the top. Like I said, the top 5 within half a second. And then even looking back on the grid, 6 through 11 are only separated by 6 tenths. And then you just keep closing that down as you look through 11th through 14th, only separated by 8 tenths. So it looks like we're going to have a very close race here. Bethome did take pole in the Aston Martin, I believe it was. So we will be starting the race here in just a few moments. I do believe we are going to have our formation lap to get underway here. Get those tires nice and warm, get through the gears, and warm up those brakes as much as possible. Keep an eye on SSL Mango sitting in 10th place, starting on those medium tires, and then we also will, anybody behind him, see what kind of tires they start on for their strategy for this race. Could be very, very important. You know, close walls, very tight corners around here. Very high speeds as well, so could be interesting to see. Safety cars could play a factor. Strategy will become involved here, but we're going to finish up this formation lap and get underway here for round 7 of season 2 for Group 1. If you are watching, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment for LGE YouTube channel. as the drivers are reforming the grid here. I believe that is the last driver. Just want to make sure we get the good camera angle. Come on, come on, come on. Looks like Mango's getting back in his car. Come on. I don't want that camera angle. Five red lights. And away we go. I think Botham got a pretty decent start there. Everybody got away nice as we head down into turn one. Leaders got away. I didn't see any contact. Couple drivers going a little bit wide, but that is definitely expected. Botham did get away just fine. Looks like S2-R Tano in that McLaren wants to make a move on the Alpine as they're rubbing and racing. That's just fine. Everybody coming through turns 3, 4, and 5 right now. Single file. Looks like everybody's funneling down properly. Very hard to get good camera angles here at Jeddah. I do apologize for that. Everything looks good so far. Everybody got away just nice. Everybody's nice and tight, nice and clean. As Botham is leading this race, we see the Alpha Tauri in the back of Bickle looking on the inside of that McLaren through turns 13 here. Botham, well, very nice. We've got some incidences in the back as we see Danny Stiller and McChicken dropping back. Zayak must have had an issue down at the back as well. James Harris, 69, he looks like he wants to go into more games. At the moment, DRS has not been enabled. We do have a virtual safety car. I think that had something to do with Shahomey, Danny, McChicken, somewhere in there, and Zayak. I think Zayak is already had an issue at the start, so I don't. Yep, he does not have a front wing. We did see Danny and McChicken drop very far back there at the beginning, so not sure what happened with Shahomey. Do apologize for not being able to catch that on the screen, but virtual safety car, all drivers reduced their pace to 40%, as we do see McLaren of Tano coming into the pits as well. I didn't see any damage on his car, but it is possible. He wanted to go ahead and change the front wing, maybe put on a set of hard tires and see if he can take those to the end of the race. That's a pretty big ask, but I'm not saying it's not possible if you can be a tire whisperer here. Virtual safety car though. On lap 2 here of LSR Group 1 Season 2 Round 7 here at Jeddah. So there's your pit stop strategy, softs to medium, softs to hards. Definitely possible for the one-stop strategy. Not sure that we'll see any two stops unless safety cars do get involved and want to go ahead and make that. But we have three drivers now in the pits. That's 4 drivers that were in the pits of lap 1. And we are back to racing. Again, virtual safety car has in it. James Harris, again, still all over the black of more games for that 4th spot. Looks like 8,000 RPM right behind him. That's going to be a good battle. It looks like going forward as all these drivers within a couple tenths of each other. Botham seems to be getting away just nicely. I think we had an issue. Quick killers, maybe, if we can catch him. Whatever happened. Oh, definitely off coming around turn 16, 17 there. So unfortunate to see that as we go back up to the front here. James, 8,000, Bamboo, Vegas. A good battle between them. Vacant Haddock has dropped a position in the back. Tano still already over the back of McChicken after that pit stop. But here we go. Looks like James wants looking around the outside of the final turn here, turn 27. Can he do a switchback maneuver? No, but that has allowed 8,000 RPM to really close that gap. They are side by side heading past the pit wall here. We'll see what happens going into turn 1. They look to be doing okay, but is he going to make a dive bomb down the side of the Red Bull into turn 1? Now on the outside of turn 2, the Mercedes not giving up as well, but wow, 8,000 RPM, that was very ballsy. Good move from him. James looks misses out on that. Not Sir Vapor and Crooner. That's a good battle. He's got the 2 Ferraris in front of him. Those 2 Ferraris are also battling, so lots of stuff going on. If I missed something, I do apologize. Trying to keep an eye on everything as it is happening, but all these drivers are within half a second of each other. So we are trying to, but there's Sequit and Bickle. There was a move from Bickle there, who has now put himself up into second place, getting past Sequit in that Alpine. We still have a very close race between each other. Is Sequit going to be able to come back at him as they are rounding through turns 15, 16, and 17 again here on lap 3? Full throttle. DRS has not been open. Yeah, I think it is actually, or should be. I don't know if that virtual safety car affected it. I don't know if the DRS has been open on that car. Doesn't look like it, but will be in just a second because DRS should be enabled. So we should start seeing a few moves there as that rear wing has now been opened. So there will be some DRS moves as we see 8,000 RPM up into 4th place around the Red Bull using that extra speed boost from the DRS being opened. Quick Killers is just left. I think he had a little bit of an issue, so he's been out of the race. But fastest lap going to Bethome already. Ickle Bickle just did a 136.38. We definitely will see that time drop as we've got the Red Bull of More Games coming back at him down the start-finish straight, and lots of moves going down the inside of turn 1. A little bit of contact there, nothing major, but the Mercedes of James Harris, 69, wants to capitalize on that. I think he just got boxed out a little bit as we now have Bamboo Vegas down the inside of turn 3 and 4. Will turn to the outside. Not much he can do. He's going to have to go offline there. The 2 Ferraris do get past the Mercedes there. Not Sir Vapor also gets through in that Williams. Looks like somebody's gotten a couple penalties around. We're going to see a couple of those handed out. Kruner, Bamboo Vegas, and those Ferraris. Are they going to be teammates today, or are they going to fight it out and see who can be the best Ferrari on track and not worry about gaining points for the team and the constructors? Again, this is a conglomeration of Group 1 and Group 2. It is a conundrum, I would say. So we will see what happens. Pretty tight racing on through the grid, but I'm going to keep it here for just a moment. 8,000 RPM, the 2 Honda-powered AlphaTauri versus Red Bull right in front of him. We'll see how those two get on, but we also have Kruner within that half a second, Not Sir Vapor, James Harris in that Mercedes, who I think has lost out quite a bit here in the last lap or two, just being squeezed a little bit and living to fight another day. As we do see the Ferrari in the background of Kruner taking it down the inside of turn 27. He's got his teammate right beside him, side by side, as they come across the pit entrance. Ferrari on the right, Bamboo Vegas got DRS off of that. He's going to have the lead going down into turn 1. Viperize and James right behind him. Not Sir Vapor taking a glance as he's taking the outside through turn 2. James Harris maybe thinking about it, just couldn't quite get it, as we do see Sequit dropping off a little bit. He has gone off track. Unfortunately, he has parked that car. Is he going to retire it, or is he just waiting, very dangerous to enter the track right there? So I think he's just waiting for cars to get by so he can safely enter the track again. We've seen some couple penalties being handed out, but Austin Ickle Bickle has closed that gap to Bethome here at the front. We do have Luke Tourette, who's retired from the session. If we can ride on board with Bacon Haddock, and see where that happened. I think he dropped it into the pit lane and decided to retire that. James Harris still within 4/10 of Not Sir Vapor, but I think that's a DRS train starting to form. We want to keep an eye on More Games YouTube at 8,000 RPM. They are within 1 second of each other. Ickle Bickle within half a second of Bethome. He has done a great job. Maybe Bethome was trying to save some tires there, but he really got away from the line well. Really slowing down, it looks like. Not sure if Bethome has an issue or if Ickle Bickle just has that much pace, straight line speed. He's going to open the DRS. This is for the lead of the race. Coming down into turn 1. They just crossed the timing line. Ickle Bickle moves to the outside. I don't think there's much Bethome can do to defend that with that extra advantage of the DRS being open. It goes a little bit wide coming outside of turn 2 into turn 3. Is that going to allow Bethome to come back at him as they're going in through turns 3, 4, and 5 now? Riding like a roller coaster ride around circuit. Ickle Bickle, though, really flying. I don't know if he's going to just wear those tires out. Maybe we'll see him pit lap 8, 9 perhaps, and Bethome might go on for a few more laps. More Games did get by, it looks like, or out there 8,000 RPM did get by, but More Games all over the back of that Ferrari now. DRS train is forming, of course, but we're going to keep an eye on those leaders as well. James Harris still within a couple of tenths. Not Sir Vapor right in there as well. Mango on those medium tires has maintained 9th place, so a top 10 start from him. Very well done on those medium tires. We will see how that's going to happen. We do have a Sector 1 yellow flag. I think that was Zayek maybe coming into the pits. Not sure what happened. Or do we have a Williams off? That could have been Sequent again there in turn 1. But we do have a great battle going on right now for 4th place, as it is More Kruner, More Games, Bamboo Vegas, James Harris, Not Sir Vapor, and Mango closing that gap. Sequent has retired from this session. I don't know if he caught that on track. if he had another issue. We do see some drivers coming around him, but as yellow flag in Sector 1, as we see more games in that Red Bull trying to make it around the outside, which will turn the inside of Turn 2. But not able to quite do that. But this is a great battle going on between 4th and 8th at the moment. We are not going to take our eyes off of these drivers. We'll keep it on them. There's still a 7/10 gap between Bickel and Bethome at the moment, who have made a 7-second lead almost to the last podium position of 8,000 RPM in 3rd. So these drivers all, Viperize has also had an issue. Looks like he's left the session. Not sure if that was just a connectivity issue, but he's definitely going to slow down. That puts Tano up into 10th place in that McLaren. But more games, Crooner, Bamboo Vegas, James Harris, Not Sir Vapor. Fantastic battle going on between these 4 drivers. Not Sir Vapor did get by James Harris. James Harris has an issue. Sorry I missed that, but into the wall again he goes, knocked off that front wing. I'm not sure if they ghost or anything, but he's got to be careful. Rejoining the track, so with a great start from him, lost out a couple times, got squeezed a little bit off track, but he is getting back on track. Going to go ahead and put that wing on. Anything can happen here because it's about time for the pit stop strategies to come into effect. Let's go ahead and take a look at who's doing what tires. Yeah, so between 8th through 11th, they all started on the mediums. Zayek put on the hards, and I'm assuming that anybody 12th through 15th will probably be pitting here pretty soon, as we are seeing some blue flags being waved there. As we're starting to see drivers come into the pits. I think that was Tano maybe coming into the pits. Nope, that was Zayek coming into the pits. Bickel and Bethome still battling it out. I'm sorry I took my eye away from that as we were trying to see who's on what tires, what strategies are being out there at the moment. Let's see who's made stops. You can see those there on your screen. Also what tire compounds the drivers are on, any penalties that have been handed out. And there's a position change. Crooner up 7 spots. Well done from him. But we're going to keep our eyes on this battle for first place at the moment with Bethome and Bickel. And then also, let's not forget more games. Crooner, Bamboo Vegas, Not Sir Vapor. That is a great battle behind us. Bickel trying to take the top spot again here. We will see DRS will be a factor in these next few laps, especially with strategy starting to be involved here. How long do they want to take the softs? Can they take them into double digits, lap maybe 11, lap 12, and then put on a set of mediums and take them the rest of the way? Or do you try the undercut, maybe try to get in some clean air and put on a set of hards and not have to worry about tire deg for the rest of the race? But Bickel may be looking into turn 27 here. But 3 DRS zones around here and lots of straights, lots of slipstream action going to happen. Very hard to defend, as we do see Bickel getting around Bethome there, making that AlphaTauri work very well into turn 1. We've had 5 drivers retire. We do have a yellow flag in Sector 2. I'm not sure if that's going to pull out a safety car or not. Let's hope not. But I do see... looks like the safety car is coming out, as I see that yellow on the screen there. So unfortunate for that. So anybody that hasn't pit is probably going to be able to move up a couple spots here. I mean, anybody that has pit might be able to move up a couple spots here. But I expect to see the majority of drivers dive into the pits here under the safety car caution. So lap 9. We do have a safety car here for round 7 of season 2. And I'm not sure who the safety car benefits the most. Maybe James Harris, maybe Viperize, as they get to come into the pits. Danny, of course, gets to get in the pits early and make their strategy. But I think all the other drivers are going to come into the pits. Let's see who has pit already. So maybe Tano, this benefits a little bit, putting on this fresh set of tires. Obviously McChicken, Viperize, they might be able to move up and jump past Husky, maybe Mango, get into that battle for 3rd, 4th, 5th place at the moment that was happening so much. But we're getting ready to see here as the leaders are rounding turn 27, and under the safety car they're both going to come into the pits. And it'll be interesting if Mango stays out on the mediums. Anybody that's on the softs is going to have to pit. 1,000 RPM, Crooner, more games,